Don't do that.
Alright, so for our warm up, we want to know what times what is 6 adds up to -5. What'd you get, Magi?
Huh?
What'd you get?
-3 times -2.
Yep. -3 times -2 is 6. -3 plus -2, I wrote backwards, it doesn't matter, -5. So when we factor this, we're going to go x minus 2, and then x minus 3. And then we're done from there.
So it doesn't matter which way.
The order doesn't matter. You could do x minus 3 first and then x minus 2.
We just have to see what goes into these.
Yep, we just want to know what times what is the number on the end adds up to the number in the middle. You are going to have to do that for part of our lesson today.
Wait, what?
So,
What?
Okay, doesn't matter which order that was.
no.
I really want that. I don't even know what
If you did minus 3 first and then minus 2, that's fine.
It's probably been too like.
Alright, so what we're going to start off, or this chapter, at least the first part of this chapter, is all about polynomials. Which are these things right here, polynomials. That's a polynomial. Anything with like an x squared or x to the third plus or minus something, that's all it takes. And we're going to look at simplified polynomials to start with. And the first one really isn't very difficult. You guys have done everything in this lesson before. Like you guys have in middle factored before, right? So it's not really going to be new. We're just going to have to work through it a little bit. Don't forget to grab your papers.
Oh, hey, Lily.
Hey, Lily. See that chest thing? It says don't be a pawn.
Alright, so what we're going to work on is simplifying some fractions, some polynomials to fractions. Hey, you guys already lost your Chromebooks, don't make any more. Okay. So we're going to find the simplified form of x minus 1 over 5x minus 5. So what we want to do is we want to cancel things out as much as we can. It's kind of like a, if you have a fraction and you have like a 2x over 3x, the x's cancel out, right?
Yes.
Because x over x cancels out. It's the same kind of idea, but we have to be careful. I have an x minus 1, right?
Yeah.
I can only cancel it out if I have another x minus 1 somewhere. So when you go through on these, if you see something that's together, like an x minus 1 on top here, but it's not in parentheses, put it in parentheses real quick. And put this 5x minus 5 in parentheses real quick.
What if I'm not quick?
And do it real slow, but make sure it looks nice. If you're going to be slow, take your time on it. Okay, so we're going to look at each parenthesis now, and we're going to see if we can factor each parenthesis. So on our warm-up, we did some in-middle factoring. On these ones, remember, in-middle factoring, we need 3 things with a squared. There's nothing to in-middle factor here, but maybe we can just take stuff out. So, for example, if I have a 5x and a minus 5, what can I take out of both of those?
A 5.
5, right? So I'm going to factor out a 5 from this bottom piece, which is from a couple chapters ago, but this wasn't the hard part, really, a couple chapters ago. And if I factor out a 5, it goes outside the parentheses. And let's see, 5x divided by 5 on the inside here is just an x, right? The 5's cancel out. And 5 over 5 cancels out. But if it cancels out, they're both gone, right? It changes into a 1. Add an x minus 1 on top. After I factor out that 5, now I can cancel stuff out. X minus 1 and x minus 1 cancel each other out, right? Just like a 5 over 5 cancel out over here. So, we simplified this down to really be a 5 on the bottom, right? Is there anything left on top? No, but we have to fill it in with a 1. You can't just leave it blank. So this x minus 1 over 5x minus 5 is really 1 over 5.
Really? Why do we gotta do this again?
What?
Well, give it here, so all you gotta do. So all you gotta do.
I said, why do we have to do this?
Why do we have to cancel?
Part of a chapter, man.
I'm just gonna do that today.
Alright, so we're going to practice this. This is basically all we're doing today.
Yes! I mean,
Pretty easy to start with. The rest of the year, there will be pretty easy lessons. We're not going to go like super crazy on these, but we are going to keep working on them. And we're going to, so now that more people are here, we're going to do lessons today, tomorrow. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 lessons next week, and then we'll have a mini test. and then the rest of the year will just be makeup work. So we'll get about halfway through a chapter. So it won't be as intense as like the last few chapters. All right. So we're going to go through and look at this top left fraction. 2n minus 3 over 6n minus 9. So before we go through anything, if there's no parentheses around different groups, let's put them on there. Like that. And let's look. Can I take anything out of a 2n and a minus 3? Can I take anything out there, Luis? Out of a 2n minus 3? Can I factor anything out of that?
Minus 3.
Yeah. Can I take anything out of a 2n and a 3? No. So I'm going to leave it as 2n minus 3. Alright, but how about this one down here, Luis? What can I take out of a 6n and a 9? Yeah, take a 3 out, right? And we're going to factor that out. So I got this 3 out here. It's going to change, let's see. 6n over 3 is 2n. Minus 9 over 3 is 3. Like that. But, and then after I factor it out, I have a 2n minus 3 on top, 2n minus 3 in the bottom, and they cancel out. And I am just left with 3.
So all I gotta do is simplify, cross that out.
Yep.
So whatever the outside number is, I mean, is the
And if you, yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
If you simplify
Well, sometimes. Because maybe you end up taking something out of the top also. Alright, let's look at this one right here. Alright, if you're a first in class problem, can't you take something out of a 4x and a 6?
Yes.
What can you take out? You can take out a 2, right? But can't you also take something out of this bottom piece?
Take out a 4.
Yeah. So you're going to have to factor stuff out twice. Let's see if you can do that on your own.
Already gone.
So on your own, I want you to simplify
Might be
this
too much,
fraction of
Loki.
polynomials.
Might be too much.
So you're going to have to factor stuff out the top and factor stuff out of the bottom and see if you can cancel out. Because we're looking at fractions here.
Go you
Wait, does
out,
it-
man.
Does it matter? Does it have to be the lowest?
What?
Does it matter what? Could I just say 2?
Out of which one?
The bottom?
2 works, right? But we want to take the biggest number out.
Oh, the big. That's what I was asking.
So, okay. So actually, Ashlyn reminded me. So I have an 8x plus 12, right? I can take a 2 out of these, but I can also take a 4 out of both of these. Take out the biggest number you can. So take out 4 on those ones.
Okay.
Goki. I am confusion. I am
Because these
confusion.
things,
This one.
Everything
so
is
this
this.
costs that. So this is this. Then
That's
you
really
this.
You got it.
Alrighty.
I am confusion.
They both equal the same thing. What did you factor out? 2. Remember, parentheses 2.
No, I'm
Parentheses
finished.
4.
And then why is it coming?
What did you get?
Because you do know.
I have 27.
Okay.
What did I do for it?
You can simplify one.
Double check your top one.
But it's gonna end up being the
What did you
same.
factor out on the top one there?
Oh, we're supposed to figure out.
Yeah.
I got
What did you
one.
take
Wait,
out
what'd
the
you
4x
get?
and the 6? I got one.
I got 1 over 4.
Go you out.
1 over 4.
We have to simplify the top. I thought they just.
Nobody touched my brush.
So reduce it.
It's just 1 over 4.
Oh, mine's 1.
Alright, let's go over this one real quick. Most people most people I've checked have gotten it all right.
That will only last 10 minutes.
But help me out with it. Moses, what can I take out of the top one?
2.
Right? And we get a 2x plus 3.
So you can't get them right away.
And then the bottom one, we're going to take out a 4, which we already looked at. 4, 2x plus 3. Okay? And when we do this, the 2x plus 3's cancel out, right? And I'm left with 2 over 4. But we're not quite done because yep, we got to reduce it one more time. 2 over 4 is really 1/2. So this whole thing is really just 1/2.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Silly me.
So if you got 2 over 4, you're not wrong. It's just a little bit more you can do.
You're wrong.
All right, let's look at 21a squared over 7a over here on the top right.
Are we
Alright.
not doing those?
We are. I'm just separating. Okay, I got 21a squared over here on the top right. over 7a to the third. So, when I have some pluses and minuses, I want to factor them out like I did right here. There's no pluses or minuses here, right? So, what I'm going to do is I am going to split these apart, kind of like we did when we looked at square roots. 21 is really 3 times 7, right? And if I have an a squared, that's 2a's, right? 7, a3, 7 I can't split apart, but a3 is really 1, 2, 3, right? What's going to cancel out on these?
And the sevens. And
The 7's, right? And 1a, 2a's cancel out. So I've got a 3 left over on top, and an a left over on the bottom. So if there's no pluses or minuses, just split them up as much as you can. There are a couple shortcuts on this, which we talked about before, but I'm going to do it the long way just to make it so it's a little less confusing. So let's see you guys do this bottom one now. Split up each thing as much as possible and cross out what you can.
Can we keep it with just egg?
Are you sure? No.
If it's like 9 times 5, do we have to split up to 9?
Yep.
You wild, bro. You wild and girl. You wild.
We have to split up to 9.
Okay.
Go down here where I got some extra space.
Yes, go King. Yeah, I'll just help him out.
Okay, that's what I got.
Here you go.
Not x to the third over 6. Who got that? Oh, wait.
I got it wrong.
Is that what it is?
Okay, we gotta get it right.
I know, we'll see in a minute.
Check it out, boys. Come check it out. Alright, go get
Answers.
Alright, well, let's do this
we
one.
did before.
Jace, how can I split up 45x to the 8? But 9's really what?
6, 10, go ahead. 45.
No, 9 is really what? What times what is 9?
Wait, what? Oh, 3 times.
3 times 3, right?
Oh, I didn't do that.
Okay. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've talked about a shortcut before. If you remembered it,
Yeah, that
great.
shortcut.
If not, don't worry about it. All right, Ruben, what's 30x to the 5th, really?
10 times 3.
But what's 10, really?
Times 2.
What? That's 5 times 2. All right.
What?
And then 5x's.
3 times 10.
This is way more like confusing.
All right, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x.
Who gets
Those
it?
are
That's an
X's,
excess
we're
way.
A's.
All right. So Kinsey, what's going to cross out on
Oh,
this?
shoot.
Hey,
Hold on, wait. 3.
Yep, 3's cross out. What else?
5.
5's cross out. What else?
What else is it?
How many?
Come on, 5.
I can't come here because.
So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So on these we had stuff cancel out.
Yeah, exactly.
So hey, focus. You guys already lost your Chromebooks. Don't make it worse. Okay. And then we have Ashlyn. What do I have left on top?
Okay, just go. 3.
Yep.
And is it 3? 3 x.
Close. It's 3x to the
Third.
yeah. And then over 2. 3x to the third over
I got the same thing, but I did shortcut.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, me too.
That's fine.
I'm just a god, you know.
Look how many times I messed up.
Because you remembered something I taught you?
No, it's
Don't you
just not
remember what I taught you, man?
Everybody.
No. Alright, pretty good. We have one last type of problem we're going to do, and then that'll be it.
Who is it? No.
Serious, Goki?
Good, Gorky, because I think that's a righteous kicking in.
Rose. Magi.
I got my Sriracha just sitting there. Y'all want to use it?
Like, okay.
No, so it's not like pairs.
Only in squares. You know, like a 5 and a 5, right? So it's cancel out.
Because
You look familiar.
she wants to.
Yeah.
I used to be. I used to be.
I don't even know who L is, man. Who's L?
Remember she had like.
And you got 3 X's left over. And you
She's
got
not
3
really
left over. Looks like you got a 2
She
X.
talked like this.
She did.
3x.
There's 3 X's.
Oh,
And then you got a 2 left over.
I don't know.
Someone's here for 10 days. Why can't I
I
say
didn't see you, dude.
Alright, so we got one last type of problem.
He just was showing her around.
They're right with you
next
guys.
week's my last week.
Alright, so we're going to get into just a little bit more complicated ones, but they are only going to be complicated like our warm-up when we had a factor. I am. For right now. So we're going to find the simplified form of 3x to the 6th over x squared plus x minus 6. Hey,
Oh, great.
Ashlyn, Kinsey, Josh.
Alright.
Okay. We are going to need to look at each piece. So I need to look at this top piece, and I need to look at this bottom piece. And remember, if it's not in parentheses, put it in parentheses real quick. So on this top one, I have a 3x minus 6. On this one, Delia, what can I take out of a 3x and a 6? A 3, right? So 3x minus 6. I'm really taking out a 3. Putting it out here. So I got a 3, and then x minus. Hey, quiet.
Let me
shut your mouth.
Kinsey and Ashlyn, if I gotta tell you to be quiet again, I'm
That's a
gonna
strike.
That's the boys.
Okay.
Strikes.
So I simplified the top part of my fraction. It's 3, and then parentheses x minus 2. I also need to factor this bottom part, and we're going to use our in-middle factor. So I want to know what times what is negative 6, and there's a 1 in front of this x, right? So it's what times what is negative 6 adds up to 1. Hey, Johnny. Okay, I want to know what times what is negative 6 adds up to positive 1. So, give me 2 things we can multiply everything to negative 6. 2 times.
Wait.
Times. Okay. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1, so we got what we needed. So, on the bottom part, I'm really going to have an x minus 2 and an x plus 3.
Yeah, I'm not even talking to you, Agri. You have to make a scene.
So, I'm about ready to just take Chromebooks for the rest of the year, because you guys always need better after your last
Oh,
one.
no.
Alright, that's fine. You guys are too.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me any. You guys can use the crusty calculators. Music.
Cokie.
Please
Don't do it.
Well, then shape up. We have like 2 weeks left. You guys are acting like it's the first month. So you're almost done. We got like 2 more slides after this. It's really just practice over this stuff. Okay. So I factored my 3 out of the top part. My in-middle factor the bottom part here. After I do that, I'm just going to rewrite it, and I'm going to see what cancels out. X minus 2 and x minus 2 cancels out, right? Because they're both the same.
Yeah.
And let's see, I've got a 3 left over on top, and an x plus 3 left over on the bottom, and that's it.
I can't see.
Be careful though, remember, if I'm going to cancel out an x plus 3, I need exactly x plus 3 on top. Even though I have a 3 and then another 3, I can't just do this.
You can't just
cancel
do
them
that.
out. That doesn't work. I need an x plus 3
You need it.
and so that doesn't work. So it's really got to be 3
Just do
and
that.
then x plus 3. All right, let's practice one more, and then you guys will try one, and then that should be it. Okay, so I got a 2x minus 8 on top, and then I have an x squared minus 2x minus 8 on the bottom. So let's start with the easy one on top here. I got a 2x minus 8.
What is that?
Gabe, what can I take out of a 2x minus 8?
We gotta do the
Yeah,
top.
you take a 2 out, right?
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to forget, put them in parentheses and help me out later on.
This is pretty good.
So I'm going to factor a 2 out. When I factor that out, I got, let's see, I got an x minus 4. I factored the 2 out, I got an x minus 4.
Wait.
Alright, let's look at our bottom piece now. And we're going to in middle factor it. What times what equals negative 8? And what plus what equals negative 2? So don't forget, it's not just a 2 in the middle, it's a negative 2, same thing. With the 8. Not just an 8, it's a negative 8.
We don't know the test.
Yes. Alright, what'd you say, Ruben, for your numbers?
4 times 2.
Close though. Very close. One of them should be negative, because they have to multiply to be negative, right?
Yeah.
So which one?
Negative
What do you
4.
think?
Negative 4.
Yep, negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So I'm going to factor this into x minus 4, x plus 2. X minus 4, x plus 2. Okay, so let's look through here. And we're going to cancel out things that are the same on the top and the bottom. X minus 4 is gone. I got a 2, and then an x plus 2.
So much work.
And that's it.
My half pencil.
I'll make a, you want to do AC
He gives us
factoring
like 3
again?
different
Do
ways.
AC factoring. Yeah.
This
that's
one
what I
that
thought.
we just did is only for the ones.
Alright, your guys' turn.
These ones are just right.
So you're going to simplify 10x plus 15 over x squared plus 8x plus 15. Last in class problem, and then you guys can start on the exit ticket.
Can we get the comments back?
No.
Alright.
Both.
Why?
Because after the lesson, almost done.
I'm done. No, you're not. Shut up, you already understand this.
No.
What's up, Beto?
Bro. What's up, man? I thought you playing.
Wait, go get. We're gonna go wrong here.
Bro, what if he's no teamwork in? That's the rule. It'll advance.
Okay, is that always gonna be a minus?
It'll be whatever it's like.
Like,
It's good so far? Keep it going. That's
what do
tough.
I do right here? What do I do?
No, that was
That goes right here?
Yeah, the 15 value of magic right there.
Goki. Come back, come back.
Or maybe.
Is this where you get the numbers?
Yeah, for your in middle. Other way though. 1 times 1 is 15 adds up to 8.
What's the difference?
1 times 1 is 8. Like 2 times 4, right? It will never be. Those will never add to 15. But you can go from 15 to 8.
Alright, no more teamwork after that. Alright, no more at all.
I have no idea what they just
That
said.
was really cheap.
Like you're trying to talk and I know it's.
Yeah, that's cheap.
The reason that there's no reason like
I have to take it down.
use history to research. So don't ever
Can you
touch
put
me.
back up now? It's easy, it's 5
Other way around though. Other way around. 1 times 1 is 15.
Oh, I haven't done it yet. Nah,
5 and 3.
it shouldn't take.
15 should be on the top part.
He just told you that. No, he didn't.
What's not?
What did you hear? You sound like a Oscar. Oh no, when you're at Mars, when you're watching how it's different, that girl with the video one, Alex,
I was about to drop you, boy. I'm drop you.
Hey, Jesus.
yeah, no, she's like, don't you, doesn't that remind you of me? Why do you think that one?
Okay, is this right, Goki? Hopefully I got it.
Is this right, go again?
This isn't right, folks.
I need to take this off.
She's off.
Right?
Hand sanitizer? Tissue.
So, that's what you can use.
There, flip it.
Alright, let's go over this one real quick. People are doing pretty good. They're just looking at
Hey, I got a
the
question
only
to ask you.
problem people are really having trouble with is the last part. Alright, so, Delia, what'd you get when you factored 10x plus 15 for that
I
top?
got 5 and then parentheses 2x plus
Ruben, what'd you get for the bottom part right here?
She has been going to.
When you factored it?
I don't know, I haven't been home for like 6 days.
X plus 5.
No,
Yep.
10. Gee,
And then
come on, front
X
please.
plus 3.
It's purple? What was that?
Alright. What cancels out? Nothing.
Hey, hey, hey.
Nothing cancels out.
I messed up.
I didn't put the 2.
So, this is really close
Ah.
to this 2x plus 3. It's really close to x plus 3, but it's not exactly the same. Nothing cancels out. What's your final answer? You're done. Nothing else you can do.
Nice, Bookie.
Wow.
So, it doesn't always cancel out. Sometimes it's kind of weird like this.
Make them
That's
fly.
good education.
Alright, that's it. So, here's what we're going to do.
Doing?
There's no Chromebooks because if you were late, sorry, but the people before you ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, I want to
They were screwing around for like 10 minutes, so they don't get the Chromebooks today.
Just the girls.
But I'll print you out your homeworks.
It's all business.
What do we do for Socrates then, Golki?
Don't worry about it. Just do it on your paper and I'll go around and check it. Actually, yeah. So for your exit ticket, do it on your paper and I will check it in a minute.
Just making it hard on you,
Will we get
Golki.
points for a warm-up ticket if we got it on paper too?
If you got it on there.
Okay.
Or there might be one or two people who are working and they didn't get a chance to type it in yet.
Yeah,
I might give them the points.
I mean, I had it on my paper and I was trying to find
So do your exit ticket on your own paper. I will go around and check them in about
Could I
5
use-
minutes.
Could I use?
And then I'm printing out your homework right now.
Could I?
Actually, you want to just go grab them for me? Since you're standing up?
Could I use?
Right down.
Could I use 4 or do I have to use 2?
No, use 4. Use the biggest number you can.
So.
Yeah, I think it's really
Why'd
good.
you take that?
Just trying not to take off all their tats. So like that one, Bookie? Your wrist tats.
Hey.
No, the wrist tats are the ones where you get big jump. Big jump.
Get it, Jace.
Wait, this one?
Okay.
You have to do all of them?
We do. I thought calculus this time is in here. You can't
No.
give me another one.
Do it on your paper. I'll check in a few minutes. I might let you do it.
Dude, I freaking fell asleep yesterday.
Did you get your nails?
No, I thought
Let me see, let me see.
That works? You should make fun of my nose.
Yep, I'm good at it. Golki.
So they had to put nails on there.
Just a tad bit wrong.
Am I right?
Alright, so on this paper, you guys have to do 8 through 28. I'm going to let you do. Actually, hang on. You're not doing 8 through 28 because you haven't done all of those.
Go, you need a.
Come over and I'll tell you what
We're doing 8 to 28.
Show me how you whip it.
Actually, it's not one.
Nobody says anything in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yes,
Nothing
actually.
caps out, Golki. I think I got it.
Your crackers are lunch.
I object.
I'm glad I can't define it.
Check the chart.
Off the top of my head.
It's a woman here.
Let's just do it even. 8 through 28, evens only.
Odds.
Magical question.